Hey everybody, welcome back to the channel and more Dungeons and Dragons. Today we are showing off another one of the cool finds, rare finds that we got at Gen Con, and that is a little bit more for Spelljammer. One of the neat things here is, especially when trying to find and collect this older stuff, is A, making sure it's in good condition, B, it's not some sort of reprint, which seems to go on a lot today. But in this case, especially with these older box sets, and this is a rare one, because this is the War Captain's Companion, finding this complete as well, and this was actually in shrink wrap, so we know it is basically complete. So we're going to get this opened up for you guys, and we'll show you everything that you can expect inside. But Spelljammer is one of the more fun and, well, weird and quirky settings that is offered for D&D, especially the older second ed setting here, or second ed version of the setting, where again this was kind of just all presented for the first time. So this is adding basically combat into your space fantasy D&D setting here. We'll be right back after we get this open. Alrighty guys, we're back. We got everything opened up here for you. So we're starting off actually with book 3, as in the order that this was packaged in for us. So again, we'll have a more detailed look at some point down the road. This is more just a quick flip through, but gives you all kinds of details on, again, fielding and fighting actual battles in fantasy space here. So book 3. The first one was combat, specifically ship recognition manual. So this is book 2. This is a bit of a thicker one. And the cool thing with finding these intact is also getting the accessories, which we'll get to at some point. But again, as you might expect, this is like a field manual for all the different ships that are out there. And there is a lot of content, and again, a lot of wacky and weird stuff out there. But again, pretty solid book there. Okay, so then, oops, this one is upside down. The War Captain's Guide, and pretty much the thickest of the books here. So let's see what we get. Different weapons and everything that you can equip your ships with. Tons and tons of info. So this is really a major expansion for Spelljammer, just by the sheer amount of stuff that you're getting in here. So basically we get 3 books, 2 pretty hefty ones, and then the smaller third one for the actual combat. But then what we were particularly after with this, so you get basically a ton of counters and other accessories in here. So putting that right side up for you guys, so you get this, and again, this all folds out in multiple different ways here. So, and a lot of like punch board stuff in here as well. And then details on the ship. Again, a lot of tokens and other things to punch out for the various vessels. As you can kind of see, back end of the clipper there. Then moving along, again, this is like basically a full game within the game for all the combat that you can do. So lots of that, so we'll get that over there. Another look at kind of the tokens and stuff. So basically you get fully like 3D punchable punch board, like a little bit of cardboard material here, where you can build actual 3D vessels that you would find in here. Then we get several space maps. So again, it's a full-on game. So, and the cool thing is, like Space Hex map, you can use it for other older games if you want that are in space. But pretty large one there. Sort of a poster with all the different types of ships on it. Just a massive posters to give you a scale on that. So There's all kinds of weird and funky stuff in there. So that is cool that that's complete. And then another space map. And yep, just another big hex grid. And then these are always little goodies at the end that lets you know that you did get something original, because it has all the old TSR mailing stuff on there. So for good old Dragon and Dungeon magazines, treasure trove of stuff in those too if you don't already collect them. And here are 1992 catalog. So D&D board game, Adventures, their current product line at the time. So Dark Sun was in its heyday there. Ravenloft, of course, going on. Forgotten Realms, still in full gear. Dragonlance, Spelljammer, of course. Greyhawk. More just general things. And then some Marvel stuff. Gamma. And just other TSR books. So there you have it. So pretty cool stuff here for Spelljammer. Again, one of the relatively smaller product lines. Manageable as far as collecting the whole thing, but that being said, also super hard to find, especially complete, undamaged, and especially for something like this where, again, you need the ships realistically, right? Although I guess now with 3D printing you could go to town and create your own. But yeah, pretty massive expansion here for Spelljammer. So, and again, really just taking your game to a whole nother level with all the combat in space that is possible there, and really just breaking up your traditional adventures with like an actual tabletop game and having some, instead of like ship to ship combat on the sea, here we're doing it in the stars. So really cool stuff. So hit us up in the comments, guys, if you played old school Spelljammer, if you're playing anything or integrating that in any of your current campaigns in 5e, and let us know if you actually have this and any other cool things that you've done for Spelljammer. Hit us up in the comments. Be sure to like and subscribe, and we'll see you in the next one.